So I prepared a little bit of a speech, and I kind of have a little bit of a laryngitis, so I apologize.
He can fix that.
So we're here tonight to honor one of Bewitched's most memorable guest stars, the inimitable Bernard Fox, otherwise known as the Witch Doctor, or really Warlock Doctor, Dr. Bombay. And I'm very honored to be selected to present this tribute, because as many of you know, I'm on the internet known as Dr. Bombay. But as Bernard once said to me in an email, he's the one and only Dr. Bombay. And so the reason that I chose Dr. Bombay as my internet personality is because he embodied the life that any warlock or mortal would envy. He was a doctor. He was an inventor who could forget the omnidirectional, three-dimensional cadmium shielded vectoring computer machine for location analysis. And even say it. And he was always surrounded by beautiful nurses, including at one time Pat Priest, Marilyn Munster. He was almost always in some exotic location or in a tennis match with one of his nurses, when Samantha would call out, "Calling Dr. Bombay, emergency, come right away." And he would zonk in, totally irritated, but willing to dish out his medical advice so he could get back to his nurse. Why is the good doctor such a memorable character? Because of the great comedic and acting talents of Mr. Fox. Mr. Fox had the ability to take the worst puns and with his charm make us laugh, especially when they were truly so bad, and he recognized it with the self-depreciating, and I don't even want to do this, but the nothing. It also helped that his chemistry with Elizabeth Montgomery, Agnes Moorehead, and the rest of the cast was so great. A particular note is from season 6's Samantha's Curious Cravings, after he's administered his cure to Samantha, which we saw in here when Dr. Bombay asked Durwood, "What about my fee?" And Durwood, taken aback, says, "What do you want?" Even more grave than before, Dr. Bombay says, "I want your soul." And then one of the best, another good scene is from later in the season when he's diagnosing the house that's been stuck. And we saw that in the video too, where Dora offers up that maybe he's holding the machine too close to Durwood. So we already saw some of those scenes, so I won't go through them again. Anyway, I believe the chemistry that Mr. Fox had with the rest of the cast was the reason he was brought back as a recurring character. His original appearance on Bewitched was that of witch hunter Osgood Reitmeyer in season 2's Disappearing Samantha, who felt he could debunk the myth of witches but found that Samantha and Dora were no match for him. And this episode we're going to screen later tonight. Aside from all that he brought to Bewitched, Mr. Fox impressed me greatly when at the turn of the century, a rumor spread that he had passed away, and I was greatly distressed. It turned out that another gentleman with the very same name had passed away. I was relieved to hear this and wanted to make sure that I didn't miss the opportunity to tell him how much I enjoyed his work, not only on Bewitched, but in his other acting appearances. I wrote a letter, and within 2 weeks I received a letter back from Mr. Fox, telling me how thankful he was that I wrote, and how great it was to work on the show, and what a wonderful woman Elizabeth Montgomery was, and how sad it was when she died. He didn't need to respond, but he did, and for that I'm very grateful. Dr. Bombay not only impressed me, but various other producers after Bewitched ended, as Mr. Fox was able to roll out the Dr. Bombay character twice on the ill-fated spin-off Tabitha, and then 2 more times in the late 90s on the daytime soap opera Passions. No other character on Bewitched can claim as much. And I would also like to mention that during the production of the Bewitched movie, there was at one point a scene where Isabel calls on Dr. Bombay and he pops in chasing an elephant. Mr. Fox did attend a meeting as they were thinking of him to play the role, but the scene was cut, and probably for the better, as the movie is now synonymous with box office failure. One of my most favorite Bernard Fox memories was sitting in the premiere of The Mummy with my family and friends, and my sister was seated 2 seats away from me. And I didn't know that he was in the movie, and when his character came up, both my sister Heather and I leaned over and said, "That's Dr. Bombay!" And the people in front of us said, "Oh yeah, that's who that is!" And then one more story to end this tribute, and one that was quite magical. Several years ago, when my friend Joan, who usually attends these, was visiting at my place, there was a Titanic exhibit in Salt Lake. And they gave tickets that had passengers' names on them. And we were both hoping that I would get Colonel Archibald Gracie, who Mr. Fox played in James Cameron's Titanic movie. And so when we got up to get our tickets, I didn't get one, and I thought, well, that's okay, there's over 2,000 passengers. Well, my dad came up and showed us who he got, and he got Colonel Archibald Gracie. So I think it was written in the stars. Mr. Fox, we're very thankful that you came tonight. We're very thankful for all the time that you put in on Bewitched and all your other work, and we're very thankful for you. The end.
Okay, and our